whoever decided to make that 7 minutes of silence sound, and then the little TikTok video thing wants to automatically apply it before you even start your video. I fucking hate you. I just made a fucking 7-minute review about this, and it didn't record any of the sound. Let's do it again. Anyways, welcome back, and once again, thank you for trusting me with your full spoiler review. That thing I do where I watch movies and then I tell you all about them. As always, I am unpaid and unsponsored, and spoilers, all the spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, you can go ahead and scroll. I won't be offended. Spoilers. Okay, here we go. This is the newest movie from Tyler Perry called Duplicity, and it dropped on Amazon Prime this morning. I didn't know it was that new. I was just like, oh shit, Tyler Perry's up to some shenanigans, let's do this. Because his last 2 or 3 movies were batshit. Where else can it go? Where I can tell you at no point did I know where the fuck this movie was going. But let me tell you all about it. So there's a lawyer and her best friend is a TV anchor. The TV anchor has a husband and the lawyer has a boyfriend. Now, a long time ago, or not so long ago, the lawyer's boyfriend was set up or lied on or something at the police department where he was a cop. And he got kicked off the force, so she sued the city and got him a whole ass lot of money, and now I think he's like a private investigator or whatever. So just keep all that in mind. Oh, and there's a skeevy cop friend. So across town, an elderly woman receives a phone call from some lady claiming to be the woman who lives on the other side of her back fence. And she's like, hey, you need to call the police because your next door neighbor's house is getting broke into. So the old lady called the cops and was like, hey, somebody's breaking into my neighbor's house. You need to come out here. Who answered the call that day? The skeevy cop friend and his trainee. The trainee he insisted on having that day. Don't worry, that comes up later. To arrive to a scene that he wasn't even in the jurisdiction for. But it was very important that they answered that call. It was also very important for him to remind the trainee if he yells gun, then the trainee needs to shoot. That comes up later too. So they get to the house. And the husband of the news anchor comes around the corner. He's got his headphones on and he's got his hood up so he can't hear what's going on. He's not paying attention. Well, he looks up, he sees 2 police officers pointing at him. He goes to pull his cell phone out of his hoodie pocket. Skeevy cop friend yells gun, so the trainee shoots him. And he later dies, and the TV news anchor finds out that her husband's been shot while she's reporting the news. Well, it gains a lot of political attraction because it was a black unarmed man being shot by a white police officer. Well, the lawyer best friend is going to represent the TV news anchor lady in court against the city for racial injustice and murder. And at first the DA was ready to go to trial. Well, the lawyer gets her hands on the service record of the police officer that shot the husband. It says in there that he got into a fight with a black male soldier and said a whole lot of racial slurs. So the DA for the city is like, okay, we're going to go ahead and settle, and gives the TV news anchor lady a whole lot of money. And then she disappears off the face of the fucking earth. And then 4 months later, the lawyer is coming out of Soul Cycle and she gets picked up in a black van. And who's in the black van? Police officer that shot the woman that lived in the house where the husband was shot, and the wife, the black wife of the police officer that shot the guy. That's actually important. According to the movie, that's important. Well, come to find out that the police officer who had gotten thrown out of the army for the whole fight was actually defending his wife from the guy, and the guy lied on him about the whole racial slur thing because I guess the wife and the other guy were dating at one point or something. It doesn't really matter. The whole point was that he never said the slurs and that he was lied on. Or that was the point the movie was trying to make. And then the lady who lived in the house where the husband was shot was actually sleeping with the husband. But not only was she sleeping with the husband, she was sleeping with the skeevy cop, who gets very violent and very, very jealous. And she had recorded on a cell phone and taped it under the cabinet in the bathroom. And she's like, you've got to go get that phone because it's going to have all the evidence you need to clear this guy's name and put the skeevy cop away forever. So the lawyer goes to the house of the skeevy cop, which her boyfriend shows up there too because he's like an investigator. And they go inside the house and she excuses herself to the bathroom where she finds the cell phone and puts it in her pocket. And then, surprise, skeevy cop man and boyfriend are working together and they're going to take her out on the boat, which she was drugged and then put on the boat. And you know who else is on the boat? The TV anchor friend, which all 3 of them looking basically into the camera to explain to you exactly what happened. See, TV anchor friend was also sleeping with the cop and they wanted money, and they wanted money from the state just like the boyfriend or whatever had gotten money, and they wanted to get rid of the husband anyway. So they staged a political murder. She called the old lady about a quote-unquote break-in, but it wasn't really a break-in. It was just him going to see a side piece. And so Skeevy Cop was adamant about being the first one to show up on scene, and he was also adamant about taking that one particular person as his field trainee for the day so that the field trainee could take the fall for killing the husband, and then they could get away scot-free and the trainee would get prison time. That's the whole point. But then the lawyer wakes up and she shoots them all with a flare gun, and she gets away, and then the charges are dropped against the trainee cop. The end. Now, did I like it? I'm gonna be honest, I think the storyline was hella interesting, and no point did I know what we were doing. But production-wise, it looks bad. Or at least to me, it looks bad. Like, to me, it looks Jeepers Creepers Reborn bad, but that could just be me. I'm gonna give this a Tyler Perry out of 10. Okay, bye.